Okay, let's get the show on the road. Okay, guys, how you doing? Right, big news, probably the biggest news Uber's had in their history. They have lost the Supreme Court hearing on workers' rights, right? So that is very, very big news. Now, to be honest, I'm glad it is. This has been going way, way too long. To be honest, I didn't even know what they were going in for. The amount of time Uber's been to court for this and that. And this actually shows how Uber actually works. They will plow in millions whilst they are cutting driver rates. And the amount of time they give, the false reasoning for, cutting our rates. I think it all started like, if we cut the rates, this will bring more jobs in, and you'll be doing more jobs at a lesser rate, but it will equal to more money in your pocket. Then we had the other one as well. Between this time and that time, rides are low. But if we cut our rates, medically, people will start ordering taxis. And at them times where you could be just sitting around, we could be working. So there's more money in your pocket. And obviously, the latest one we got, fixed rates. And still the same storyline. By giving fixed rates to the customers, it's going to generate more jobs, because this is what the actual passenger wants. Now, here's my question to you. Has any of them brilliant ideas Uber's come along with for reducing your rate has actually generated you more money? The answer is simple, it hasn't. And I'll tell you the reason for this is because it wasn't actually targeted at you. It was targeted at their competitors. So by lowering rates, the riders would have used them and convert to using the Uber app. That's what it's all about. And, at the same time, obviously, they're just giving us all these messages I've just told you, they're just giving us a lollipop, just to suck onto, just keep quiet. So anyway, let's go back to our main thingy. So how are you feeling today? What emotions are you actually having? Are you happy? Are you sad? Or you just don't know, what the outcome of this hearing is going to be reflecting on you? Firstly, whatever it is, Uber hasn't been the best of companies to work for. You might argue, I suppose, and say, well, you've been in this game for a long time, Abdul. You know how all these taxi companies work, and they're all the same. And, without me arguing back, I agree with you. It is sadly the nature of the beast. But look, undoubtedly, Uber single-handedly changed this trade. Now, many more for the customers of theirs than the drivers. But the bureaucracy that surrounds the drivers' treatments sadly outweighs the positive. So, you might be asking again, what do you actually mean by that? And, I'm on about things like when a rider gives a false report, they suspend the driver, just because the guy knows for a fact now that he could get a free ride from it. And to make it even more worse, they prolong the actual proceeding of it. So you're just waiting weeks sometimes, in some cases, and there's no way of actually appealing that. You can't talk to anyone. They'll ring you, if you're lucky, or email you and say, look, thank you for working with us, this, that, and all that, but we've decided to deactivate you. It is simple as that. And these are the things I'm on about. You know, there's no one to really give your side of the story when that happens. I don't know, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's like you're a parcel. It is sad. Mind you, let's talk about parcels actually while we're here. Now, I want to talk to you about Jamie Haywood. Now, this is obviously the head of the European operation. How he still has that job is beyond me. You know, there's an old saying, if you give someone a plastic hammer, within a minute they'll use the hammer to bash something. And what I mean by that is, this guy was recruited from Amazon. You know, he is the parcel master. And this is what we are becoming. You know, we are becoming human parcels in this game. All thanks to his recruitment, the way he wants Uber to, you know, go in the future, proceed. But then again, you know, how much can you actually blame him at the same time? Uber probably wanted to follow the Amazon model. And you know something else? I still think Amazon will buy Uber out. Okay, so let's just slightly move to a different subject. Let's talk about what it actually means to us being employed as an Uber employee. Now, you can always listen to the guys on Facebook and WhatsApp. There's loads of employment barristers on there. They've just retired and become taxi drivers. You can listen to them if you like. Look, the reality is, right, no one actually knows how this is going to actually work. So what you have now is an employment law from the Supreme Court that's been passed down to Uber, and they are saying to Uber, you know, all those registered drivers you got on your books, they are your employees now. Now, obviously, that would mean, now a lot of these, this is where the happy people come in, that there'll be a lot of benefits attached to being employed by someone. Now, these are things like, I don't know, holiday pay, I suppose, pensions you have to do these days, sick pay. I think they do that already, but you know, you could get a full benefit now. You know, there's loads of benefits that's attached to it, and so it all sounds good, doesn't it? You know, this is quite good. Well, you know, let's not jump too much here. You know, there are problems. Now, the first thing is, right, how are they going to implement all this? This is a big headache for Uber, implementing this. You know something, personally as well, at the same time, I'm just thought, what this actual government needs right now is to introduce or employ, this is a government, gig economy secretary. You could overlook everything. I think that could be a good position, because I don't think the current employment secretary is good enough, because the whole gig economy itself has grown so big. You know, you probably need a secretary on its own. So anyway, so you know, how are Uber gonna make us work? You know, are they gonna make us do shifts? You know, so this will be something like, you know, I don't know, 2 till 10, 10 till 6, whatever. You know, there's shift patterns. Are they going to make it? Are they going to make us do that? Are they going to actually limit the hours you know you could work? So if they say, well, according to our data, you know, the mysterious data they have, that's what they do. You know, gather data. Week 46 of every year, there's a dip on people wanting taxis. You know something, we don't want so many people that week. Can they do that to you? Or they may say, well, you're only allowed to work, I don't know, 40 hours, because not more than people work more than 40 hours. Will they be more stricter than what they already are? You know, when they expect you to do a job, the acceptance level probably be, I don't know, 99%, 90%. They want to, you know, you'll probably be only allowed one refusal per 10 jobs or something like that. So what I'm trying to say is, working for them, it's not the best. But I got a funny feeling, if that guy Jamie Hayward is still there, they will probably do the same thing as Amazon blocks. You know, this is where you get to choose, or you reserve your a block you want to work. But anyone who's been doing Amazon Flex will tell you, not all the time there is blocks available. So, you know, that could be a problem. And if they go by Amazon rate they pay, you know, you're looking around £13 per hour. No, that's plus your expense as well.
Head southeast on Digbeth B40
So they'll pay you minimum wage, which is what, 8-9 quid or whatever it is, plus another, I don't know, 4 or 5 quid to top it up to £13 an hour. They'll employ you for £13 an hour. So let's just get this, because I got a job to go to. Being employed, you know, this might not be everyone's cup of tea. Okay, now I don't want to talk too much about this, because firstly, I'm not a tax expert nor a financial advisor, so I'm not going to touch on it too much, but I'm just going to briefly outline what I think might happen or could happen. Okay, so if you're being employed by someone, it means that your employer pays your taxes. Now, first thing, the Chancellor will be very, very pleased with this. You know, this will mean millions, billions coming into their kitty. You know, this is good for on their side of things. Now, firstly, you know, look, most drivers that's going to affect are these London drivers. If you go on Facebook and everything, you know, they're always showing how much they're earning and everything, because they do earn a lot. You know, they earn good living down there doing taxi driving. So that's one thing. You know, but there is good things about it. Firstly, you know, your credit rating, that will be very good, because you'll have a good income coming into your wages, into your bank. You know, so all them sort of things will be good for your ratings. You know, if you were to apply to buy a house, actually, that's good again, because there's no need to get any false documentations anymore. You know, that's another saving of £1,000. So it's all good in that sense. But let's be, you know, quite honest. A lot of the drivers claim a lot of other benefits. You know, I'm talking about things like, you know, housing benefit, council tax, low income benefits, school dinners, all them sort of things. But you know something, when Uber shows the taxman, Mr. Abdul here is earning £70,000 a year, that is going to have an effect on your claim. So, but firstly, now look, let's not talk about this too much, because we're not really sure how this is going to pan out. So let's talk about it later on, shall we? Okay, so lastly, I want to wrap this video up now, because it's getting a bit too long, and I will try and do some more videos just to really, you know, go into depth a bit more on each topic. Anyway, last thing now, quickly, do we go back to local base? That's probably one of the questions you might be asking yourself. Look, again, way too early to say anything. Local base at the same time probably will have to adhere to the same practice. You know what I mean? So if that happens, that could actually work in favor of Uber, because what's happening now, if we were to be given a set figure, minimum fare, and say £13, and you was doing, I don't know, 20 hours, so it's £260 you would work. Now, if that local company didn't give you that £13 an hour, they more or less would have to fork out the rest to comply with the new ruling. The problem is with Uber, well, it's not the problem. What makes it so simple with Uber, they got backers, as in investors and all that sort of thing, and a lot of cash, free cash in the system. They could actually, what they might do is say, look, you know what we could do? We will probably play this along and wait to see these companies go bankrupt. We'll put more offer on, make it more cheaper. So end of the day, you know, the riders are using the Uber app. These bases could potentially, this is all hypothetical actually, not be able to pay the drivers and close down. So everything is Ubers at the same time. Now, at the same time, drivers might also just leave Uber, leave local base at the same time. They'll look at this and say, oh, you know what I mean, Uber's giving us guaranteed 100 and whatever pound per, £13 an hour, and we could live on that. We're quite happy. That is if you are happy actually. So you'll have drivers that, you know, one thing we've realized, drivers will go right to the bottom of the bucket. There's no doubt about it. You know, so even if Uber said, I mean, luckily, obviously, there's a set ceiling to the minimum, as a minimum wage. If that was lower, the Uber would have gone more lower. So the government is doing a favor in that side. But is it enough for us drivers to actually make money out of? This game is completely going to change if this is what's going to happen. You know, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I don't think many people do. Uber themselves don't obviously know how everything will pan out. But you know, this is quite serious. With multi-apping even. So basically meaning having 2 or 3 apps on the go at the same time. How are they going to, you know, see who's actually working all the time? And so you probably couldn't work for 2 companies, you probably just work for one. And you might say, well, what if I turn one off? And no, you can't turn off. You probably can't, because you are, you know, you pressed and you obligated to do that amount of hours. You probably can, obviously it's an emergency and everything, but if that was happening all the time, and that would happen if he was multi-apping, you know, they'll figure out that this guy is not, you know, just working for Uber, he's working for someone else. And you probably reach the amount of time you could switch it off, sort of a thing. And off you go, you're gone. So, a lot of things going to happen. My only advice now is, look, join a union. This is probably the time you really need to join a union if you haven't joined a union. Obviously, the guys who have taken them to court, Yassine and James, and they belong to ADCU. Just Google them. I'll try and put a link to it. I'm not sure what the cost is. It's £10 a month or something. But, you know, this is like the game changing. We have to change as well. We probably need to, that £10 a month is probably something we need to do. It's part of the new way of taxi life, because there's a lot of changes that's going to happen. And if they are going to try and bend any rulings, you know, you are not going to be able to challenge them. So join a union. That's probably one advice I can tell you. But a lot of things will change. I keep saying that, but you will over the next couple of months. And obviously, I'll try and keep it updated. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye now.